Well. You know what time it is. Whew. We back, baby. Bitcoins, shitcoins, or NFTs. There's no greater feeling than hitting that sweet. Old time.
Hello, what's up everyone, and welcome to another weekly episode of Setup Saturday. I'm here as always with my friend 0xZer0cool. How are you?
Hello. Good morning. I'm doing well. Yourself?
Very good. Thank you again for coming on as every week.
We try.
And I think I told you before the show, you will have to carry me a little bit today because I had a lot of things to do these last 2 days. So, for example, yesterday it was the wedding of my brother. So I was the whole day and the whole night away. So I'm a bit hangover, a bit tired, but we're here anyway, as every week. So we're going to try to do our best and let's go over some charts, some data, and give you guys the our most honest opinion on the markets and on crypto that we can do, and of course our setups for the week ahead.
Yes.
So what I did was I did not prepare these last 2 days, but I did prepare a lot Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Because I had the stream with George Trader on Wednesday, so I researched a lot and the best I could do to have my my best view on Bitcoin currently. So I don't know if you watched that stream.
I watched, didn't watch live, but I followed for like half an hour after I put it on.
So basically what I did was I made an Excel sheet of a lot of criteria on how you can value Bitcoin and what you have to look at the moment. I'm not going to go over it all the way today because that would be super boring. You guys can just watch my stream from last Wednesday, which is super important, by the way. I'm going to go over it real quick, and then I'm going to hear 0xZer0cool's thoughts as well. So before we start, I see G Armo in the chat. What's up, man? Thanks for joining us. All right, let's move ahead. So first of all, we talked about this last week. I'm going to go over it real quick. So the Bank of Canada cut their interest rates to 4.75%. ECB did the same in 5 years. They cut their interest rates as well. So now the thing is, again, same as last week, what will the Federal Reserve do? So we had our FOMC meeting on Wednesday, and I wanted to talk a bit about that with you, 0xZer0cool. So what did we say? Well, what are my predictions is that we will see the first cut in September. Last week it was a 50-50, and after the FOMC meeting, which is interesting, it went up to 75% chance that it will be in September. So now the market, the CME Group futures, which is basically the market, is thinking it will be in September as well. Maybe they have the same thoughts as mine that it will be before the US elections. We'll see about that. But the thing you have to notice, I don't know if I can quote it 100%, but Powell said something like, we will only do one cut this year.
Most important news from the meeting for me, honestly.
And I think the market dropped on that because obviously the more cuts, the better for risk markets, because the more liquidity is in the system. But what surprises me is, so the market drops, so the market follows Powell and thinks, okay, only one cut. But then you see also the market thinking, okay, no, but we will do a 75% cut in September and a second cut, 49% chance in December. So the market thinks Powell was lying or something, I don't know. But what I think it is, I thought about it, was we will see the cut in September. And before the elections, Trump wins the elections, and then he says he fires everyone, or I don't know what he. Well, he said he's gonna disabandon the Fed.
SEC.
The Fed.
Okay.
Who knows? So maybe then we will see more rate cuts like every month. Who knows? So I think maybe the market is thinking that way. This will be the most important thing. Maybe they will listen to the letter from, sorry if I forget always her name, Elizabeth Warren. She wrote an open letter to Powell saying, please cut the interest rates because the Americans cannot live this way. We will have high inflation and high asset prices. So the Americans cannot not just sustain it. You have to lower the interest rates, or a lot of lower class people will just not be able to buy food. And that's it for me. I think this is really, really important. In my sheet, you can see it as well, 100% important weight factor on the FOMC meeting. But the thing is, so I wrote 100%, but Zer0cool, you told me before the stream that you had a really interesting chart about this as well.
Yeah. I'd like to jump on something else first, but we can go to the chart right after.
All right, I'm showing your screen.
Right, this is the CAC 40, which is the index for the French stock market. ECB did their rate cuts, and this is how the market reacted. I think the cuts were over here or something. It's down 10% from the high. Not something you would want to see after rate cuts in the Eurozone, honestly. Which I found this interesting because we've been speculating for, I don't know, since we started to stream, like, the rate cuts from the Fed's going to be like the bottom signal that we've been waiting for. They're going to turn on the printers, yada, yada, yada. ECB or Eurozone did their cut, wasn't much. They also upped their inflation targets. And the French markets, together with the elections, not such a good reaction to that news, which I found interesting because it kind of contradicts what we've been saying. What I wanted to show was this chart from Morat. I think Morat has been around for many, many, many years. And basically, it is what we've been talking about, rate cuts, the balance sheet, and the inverted yield curve, or the yield curve, but then inverted. And this is showing the echo bubble in 2019, where you had your stages up, and then we had our rate cuts. It's the second line on the left here, coming down. The balance sheet from the Fed started to grow again because there's been money printed and injected to the system, and your yields are going down, since here's inverted yield curve, so on the bottom is going up. On the left, 2019, what we saw, Bitcoin just drifted down. This absolutely contradicts what we've been saying about 2024 and 2025 when they're doing that first rate cut. We expect printers to be turned on and Bitcoin to go to 100,000. Kind of contradicting what we see on the left with this echo bubble chart, which I found very interesting.
The thing about this kind of data is, I don't know if you can follow it 100% because, well, first of all, back then, in 2019, we weren't as correlated with the macroeconomy and stocks as we are right now.
True.
And I can show you my screen real quick. So what I want to say about this is, so when is it? In July. So basically what you have to do is you have to look at the S&P index. So basically the US stocks. Let me put it on the weekly so you can see it better. So July 2019. So what we see is just a massive increase in stock prices. So starting from July is just up only. And this just confirms what we were saying. If there is more liquidity, if the interest rates are going down, then stock prices are going up. And you can see it here very good. The only thing is, I'm going to go back over to your chart. Okay, there was only one instance. It did not happen in 2019 with Bitcoin, but I don't think it's really that important. I think you have to look at more data. So for example, the stocks and the previous cycles, we see it's always happening. I think this one was just within crypto itself. There were a lot of things happening that were not good for crypto. And so they were decorrelated a bit from the macroeconomy.
Mm-hmm. That's true. In 2019, it wasn't really as correlated with tech stocks, while now it is almost one-to-one correlated with tech stocks, right? We got like Nvidia pushing into the top 3, even overtook Apple, I think, as second biggest company on the planet. We're very correlated with that at the moment, which wasn't the case in 2019. Yeah, that's a good point.
But of course, it's and that's the thing. That's what I always try to say. It's never always one thing. You have to look at a lot of indicators together and then form your macro point of view if you want to buy or if you want to sell.
Your opinion.
So for example, if interest rates drop back to zero right now, but there's a war starting, I'm just saying something. Of course, if you then look a couple of years later at the Bitcoin price, but the Bitcoin price went down and the rates went to zero. Why didn't it not work? Yeah, because other factors were not good for the price of assets. But yeah, of course, I like the chart. It's very well explained. I don't think that necessarily makes our point invalid that by interest rates going down, Bitcoin goes up. I think that's still valid, and it will be valid. We will see it in September probably.
Yeah, I think the period around the elections is going to be super interesting because Trump has been insanely vocal about crypto. He wants to keep Bitcoin mining in America. Now it's politicians, they're just saying whatever they want to say to get the votes. But in the off chance he actually pushes crypto, that is your first step to Bitcoin being a world reserve currency, right? It is kind of what you need, an American president who's giga hard pushing it.
Yeah, well, or living next to the world reserve currency, like they do in El Salvador, for example. I think that's a really good system that they have two currencies, Bitcoin and their, dollar, and they just live next to each other. And for me, that's a perfect system.
But yeah, I'm not saying he's going to get elected. I think it would be a net negative for humanity if he gets elected, but that's another thing. But if he gets elected and he does push his crypto agenda, yeah, that's how you reach $1 million Bitcoin. I think that could be a factor.
Yeah, if the president of America is behind Bitcoin, yeah, then that's best that can happen.
Right, because then you have your onboarding of mom and pop buying it, and there's a lot of old money that's being generational wealth, old money being transferred from the older generations to the newer generations, and the newer generations aren't buying gold, right? BlackRock is disassembling ETFs left and right, including old gold ETFs. All that money is going to flow into crypto, I think, regardless of who wins the elections. So.
Yeah, I think there is still a lot of money that can flow into crypto. I think we are too stuck in our little echo bubble on Discord, on YouTube, on Twitter, that we really don't have a clue of the outside world, that really 99% of the people, don't have crypto, don't talk about crypto, are not interested about crypto. And I think if the president of your country, of the biggest country in the world, praises it, I think that's super bullish for crypto. I think we will go much, much higher. I think the targets you have in your minds are not enough. We're going to go to 1 million, 10 million quite easily. Well, that is maybe in 10, 20 years.
Yeah, okay, that's not tomorrow. Obviously, that's not a short-term target to go long now and TP at 10 million. But I agree. Yeah, the Bitcoin market, the crypto market cap in general, not just Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the other 90,000 million Bitcoins we have, it is so small compared to the other market caps of asset classes that Bitcoin or crypto at the moment is a little shitcoin in the real world. And while the bubble you talk about on Twitter and stuff doesn't see it that way, but it is absolutely the case. And that will change when there is giga mass adoption.
Yep. But first, to get mass adoption, let's go back to our liquidity cycles. So, as I say every week, this is the most important chart there is in the macroeconomics. This one is from Cross Border Capital. For me, this is the best firm in terms of research in the Global Liquidity Index. You can find their website on it's just liquidity.com. They are the best in what they do. And this is their long-term liquidity cycles. As we see, they just updated it. Let's see if I can zoom in. You see it's going up again. So global liquidity is going up. Couple of reasons. So as you can see on this chart, the interest rates of most countries are going down, while so basically the percentage of global banks cutting rates is going up and the percentage of global banks rising rates is going down. Another one I wanted to show is, for example, in America, liquidity is going up. I showed this chart already 2 weeks ago. You see for the first time, so I'm on the weekly, it's going up again. It's going up slowly. So in terms of liquidity, everything's still on the positive side. Well, let's say neutral to positive. It's not that great either, but it's going up. One thing I wanted to mention as well in terms of liquidity, not really Bitcoin related, but well, not really macro related, but more Bitcoin related, is the stablecoin index. I showed it really quick on the stream with George on Wednesday. And when I showed it on stream with George on Wednesday, it was flat. And right now, well, I have to zoom in a lot, but it's trending upwards.
Upwards, okay.
So when I was streaming with George, it was just flat, no stablecoin liquidity. And now these 2 days, it's you can see it Thursday, Friday, liquidity is going up as well. How you can find this? So basically the stablecoin liquidity, that's USDT, USDC, every stablecoin basically, if the supply is expanding or if the supply is going down, which is a really good indicator if there will be more money flowing into Bitcoin or not. And where you can look for is, for example, here, whale alert, follow it on Twitter. It's very good. And you can always see when there is more stablecoins being printed. And as we just saw right here, right before the stream at 12:23 p.m., 1 billion was printed tethers on the Tron network.
Interesting.
We don't know who or where it came from, but you know, always when there's a big amount of USDC or USDT or whatever stablecoin is printed, it's bullish.
Yeah, and just below you see Paolo, I think CTO or CEO of Tether, saying what it is for. It's replenishments on the Tron network, and it's not immediately going to be used to buy. They're not going to market buy $1 billion worth of crypto. It is for their next period where they get requests to supply liquidity.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing with the stablecoin. The stablecoin index. Not the index where you can see the liquidity. It's not immediately. Nothing happens immediately. It's just when you see that there are a lot of stable coins, it's mostly aligning with a top. You can see it's always in the bear market, your stable coin liquidity is down. In the bull market, it's up. So what I said on George's stream as well is, if you see there's a lot of a big spike in stablecoin liquidity, so when there are really a lot of stablecoins but the price is not going up, for me that's really bullish, and that would be a time that I would buy.
Yeah, the last time it flipped from negative to positive, it kind of started the entire bull run we've been seeing from 26k to like
yeah, exactly here
26 up to the first leg, and then yeah, the candle after that, so that big candle after 26 to 35, and then that grind up, I was not expecting that. I was giga short there. And I got stopped out, and then I didn't take a trade, and then I was like, all right, fuck it, we're going to flip bullish. And then it kept pumping. Did not expect that.
All right, so that were the macro things that I wanted to go over real quickly. You can really look at it a lot more on my Wednesday stream. For now, the ETFs, really important. Well, a bit less important, but I will talk about it later. So we saw outflows this week. You can see it right here. So this is a chart from Carpe Noctem. I really like his data visualization. Sorry. Last week, a lot of inflows. This week, a lot of outflows. Real quick, we talked about it last week as well. So why were there a lot of inflows last week, but the price was not going for all-time highs? Is because it was a cash and carry trade, which basically means is that there were a lot of big funds buying into Bitcoin, but at the same time going short on CME futures, because there was they had a funding rate of about 14% back then. So they had 14% free money. So basically right now, when you put your money in treasuries, so risk-free money is about 5%. Now they had 14%, which you take every day. So that's why there were a lot of inflows, but the price was not moving upwards. And I think now the yields, so the risk-free rate on the funding rate dropped. Last Wednesday I checked, it was 10%, and it must have dropped lower. Maybe some guys stopped their cash and carry trades. Maybe some funds are capitulating. I'm not sure. But anyways, so this is from last stream, but inflows are net bullish. So this one was very good from K33 Research. So even though there is a cash and carry trades, he points out that when there are a lot of inflows, it's super bullish for the price of Bitcoin. When there are a lot of outflows, it's negative.
Okay.
So that's what I wanted to say real quick. Do you have anything to say about the ETFs or?
Yes, no. Yeah, it's gonna, this in and outflow game is gonna probably stop when the basis rate between them is less than 10%, I guess, and it was like 12% a couple of days ago. So they're gonna keep doing this and milk it for money until too many people are doing it and the returns are gone there.
Yeah. So and then Bitcoin fundamental related, we wanted to talk about one thing more, that were the hash ribbons, or do you want to talk about something else first?
No, hash ribbons is, we can start there. It's no problem.
So let me start real quick, and then I know you want to show something as well. So what's really important for Bitcoin are the miners, of course. The miners secure the network. So when the difficulty is going up, when the hash rate is going up, that makes the Bitcoin network just more secure, which is really bullish for Bitcoin, because then it cannot be hacked. And when the network is really, really strong, secure, of course, that will be good for the price of Bitcoin. But because of that, because of the hash rate is going up, the energy price of Bitcoin is going up as well. So for the miners, it's really difficult to follow that. That's why we see a lot of miners capitulating. So I have here, it's a chart from Capital Investments. So at the moment, the energy value is 78K. So for one Bitcoin, to mine one Bitcoin, it's 78K. Of course, it's not in every country the same. Every country has a different energy price. It depends also on your cooling systems, on your the price of your land even. So I think it's an average of a lot of things. From micro macro, it's at 83K. So it went even up from the previous estimate. This is one from 2 days ago. So that's why we see the miners capitulating. And the thing is, when we see miners capitulating, historically, that always marks a bottom for Bitcoin, because then if they already capitulated, there's no one else to sell anymore, and the most sell pressure is gone.
No.
So this one is from Capital Investments, but I think you're gonna show it better on TradingView. It's the same chart, but 0xZer0cool will show it on TradingView. I'm gonna show your screen. Yeah, you can go.
Right. So Capital, Charles, the guy, or one of the guys behind that firm, has a free indicator called hash ribbons, and it basically, I'll put it on the chart here. It basically prints what Jack was talking about, but as a capitulation and a buy signal on the chart, which is kind of perfect. And then if you look historically, last one, we had the capitulation in this very boring periods. After that, we kind of nuked, but that was the, if you bought spot here, it went up. Same here, if you bought spot here, it went up. If you bought spot here, it went sideways, but it still went up. And going back to 2021, if you bought spot here, it went up. It is a higher time frame like indicator that we are near a bottom or have bottomed, and it's been historically pretty correct.
Yeah. So, and I think most of the times, the best buys are always before the buy signal of the indicator. And basically how it works is, so when the miners are capitulating, how can you see it? You can see it by the hash rate that is dropping. So I got a chart from the hash rate right here. I'm going to show my screen. So this is the hash rate of Bitcoin, which is super bullish, most important chart in Bitcoin. So if this keeps rising, Bitcoin price will just keep rising as well. This is super bullish. So what you can see here is the Bitcoin hash rate topped around the halving, which is normal, and it dropped. So basically, when we see the miners capitulating, how can you see it? You can see it by hash rate dropping, because then you know a lot of miners stopped mining, had to sell their equipment because they were just simply not profitable anymore. So then the question is, how does a buy signal print on this indicator? Well, basically it prints when the hash rate is going back up for a certain period of time, because then you know, okay, they stopped dropping their Bitcoin. They bought new miner equipment again, and they started to mine again, and everything is fine. So you can see here, so it dropped enormously, and it's starting to rise again as well. So I think right at the moment, if you look at this indicator, I think it's a good buy signal. So just right before the indicator from Capital Investments signals a buy, that's historically the best time to buy Bitcoin. And I think it will signal a buy in the next couple of weeks because hash rate is already going back up.
Yep. And that correlates with us saying about if Trump gets elected and he giga pushes Bitcoin mining in America, this chart, your hash rate's gonna go exponential, right? Because he'll incentivize to mine Bitcoin in America. People will jump on that as an investment opportunity, and the hash rate will just go up. So yeah, the Trump in office, again, honestly, I think it's a net negative for humanity, but for crypto, if he sticks to his words, it could be giga bullish. So yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting period to trade. One for the history books for sure, I think.
All right.
What do we have here?
Yeah, you can go ahead. I think you had a tweet prepared.
Oh yeah. What I wanted to say or want to go over is, so I've been bearish for the last couple of weeks. I think last 2 or 3 weeks. So what do I need personally to like go giga mega bullish long, like to flip my basis? I wrote a little tweet about it. We'll go over each like mini indicator, and I want as many as possible to be present, like as an alarm bell, as a signal to go off for me to start going bullish. First one is pretty easy. It's the funding rates. Basically, what the funding is to keep your long or short open. So now it is pretty green. Base rate is 0.01. And what I want to see is on a higher or lower time frame. So here you have all the exchanges. We'll use Binance as an example. So I want a lower time frame where this drops and goes into the red. For some reason, this is just pure flat, which doesn't make much sense. I'm going to take another chart. I think let's buy bit. There we go. That looks better. So on the 15 to 30 minutes, what I want to see is capitulation like we had here, where it's starting to form like this, but for a prolonged period. That's my first signal that I'm looking for. We had to drop here, which caused a giga spike in negative funding. And the bottom one is predicted funding. Predicted funding is always flowing, while your funding rate here, your actual funding rate is every 8 hours on most exchanges. My second signal would be open interest on Bitcoin primarily. It has been going up, 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 up. If you zoom out, here you see, by the way, Binance has $7.7 billion in open interest, Bybit 5.4, and OKX 2.8. So I like to use Binance and Bybit as a 2 charts, because this combined is like more than all the rest together. Open interest is basically how much money is being lended for longs or shorts. If you zoom all the way out, we can see this has been hitting all-time highs. And I think this is data without the CME. With its CME, it's even higher. Yeah, we've been going up, 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 up. If you then zoom in on the lower time frame, get rid of my arrow. Yeah.
So what do we basically need? A big liquidation event or?
Big liquidation events. This is your range for your open interest, basically. I just marks the top, this marks the top. What I want to see is a giga candle down in open interest. That will collide with a big giga candle down on the price. But for me, there's too much open interest for this to just like yeet to 100,000 from here. Can always be macro news. Biden, who says I'm going to do the same as Trump and Giga promote Bitcoin. I doubt it's going to happen, but an event like that could contradict this. But what I'm looking for, TLDR, Giga candle down in open interest. That is a big one, because this will force liquidations, and you kind of want to buy liquidations of other people, because liquidations are forced sells that people don't want to do but have to do to keep they don't have the money to play anymore, and that's what you want. That's where you want to buy. Also, a big liquidation candle on a big drop in OI is my second signal. My third one is backwardation. Backwardation is basically the price of the future contracts. So this is the price of a contract now. This is what you pay for a contract on the 21st of June, 28th July, September, and over here you have your premium. Now the per price is below spot, but for a contract 6 days out, pay $100 premium, $200, $800, $2,000, and for March 2025 you pay $6,200 premium. What is backwardation is that when your contracts in the future start trading below the current price. So these premiums are now positive, green, they go in the red. And what I would like to see, or what historically has been on Giga new candles like the COVID candle, like the FTX candle, future contracts, far future contracts, July, September, December, they go in the red, which would indicate that the price in September, for example, would be lower than the price now. This is a capitulation indicator. Same with the OI dropping hard. You're not going to get this negative on like a downtrending slope this when the contract opens, because when this date hits, the next one opens up, obviously. But this is a slow downtrending price. What you want is a sharp nuke in it, and that for me is one of my biggest buy signals. If I see, like I always take, I think a month and a half out. If I start seeing July going red, this for me is a buy signal. If I start seeing September going red, it's oh my god, buy a lot signal. If I see December and March going red, then holy shit, bet the house, because it's how do you call it in English? It's the data is wrong. There's a market inefficiency. That inefficiency always gets filled with a bounce. If you have March futures going into the red, and you buy, for example, $6,000 lower than what they've been, the bounce up will be amplified more than the per price. So buying this on a giga drop is how you make real money. And the open interest here is, you can see, it says 400 million, 166 million, 250 million. There's money there to be played with. And this is on Deribit. It's an options exchange. Also has a perp and spot exchange. It's pretty old. It's up there with Kraken. It's there's not much volume going through it, but it is well respected. It is legit, and a lot of big OGs use it. So yeah, that's my fourth indicator. Backwardation, so your premium going red on future contracts. Yeah, basically that's it. So this here. Premium on the right side going red. That's what I want to see.
Okay.
And then on the lower time frame, just right after your nuke, I'll show this on OKX here. So if you go super low time frame, this is 5 minutes. I want to see signs of open interest rising, and CVD dropping and funding rates dropping and going hard in the red. That would indicate that after a drop, people are like, oh my god, everything is going to hell, we're going to 12,000, we're going to start shorting the bottom, or start shorting, and that would form a bottom because your open interest is rising, your CVD is dropping, your funding rate is dropping, which are indicators, not all indicators, but it's a big indicator that people are shorting. So what I want to see after a big capitulation event is that people are like, oh my god, what the fuck, I'm shorting now, after we had like a 10, 15, 5%, whatever drop. That's where you want to buy, because that's how you create fuel to rocket back up and do your Dalama recovery. support one is my least, like, this is what you do on a lower time frame. These are like higher time frame indicators, right?
Mhm.
Well, when I say higher time frame, this is snap, like 2 and 3 are like snap seconds things. I can show this on there a bit actually. This going negative doesn't happen very often. Like here in May, that ugly May candle, the June ones went negative. But yeah, this going negative, you can filter out, which is pretty dope, by the way. This has never dropped under like 6K, for example. The September one has never dropped. Oh, I'm reading it wrong, sorry. Here, March. The premium of this contract has never dropped under 5,200 here. So if this goes towards zero, or there's a big capitulation event, that's where you want to buy. And this here is on the monthly thing. You can put it on the hourly as well. This isn't going to stay there for minutes of hours. This is going to be seconds. There's maybe like a 5-second window when this happens. So you'll see it printed on the charts. The chances that you are at your PC ready to buy are very slim. You'll have to have limit orders in place to catch something like that, or have APIs ready, or like algos in with APIs ready to catch that. But my point is, it will flash for 5 seconds and it'll be gone, and you'll have to look in the charts for it to happen. But it is an indicator that it happened, and that's where I want to buy. Unlike the last indicator that I was talking about, this is something that will start to form over minutes, which you can live follow. Unlike the previous two. That's the 4 indicators that I want to go over, and that's what will make me go bullish again. And yeah, we're not there yet. I don't think we're there yet. And then we can go to some actual charts, I think.
Wait a second, because there is a question from Hiroshima Yamamoto. I think it's for you. He says Jack, but I think the question is for you. So he says, when was the last time these indicators had a strong buy signal? I understand how they help in a black swan, but when do they help in normal times?
A good question. Let's go back to this one. Well, you have to combine them, right? Your open interests drop. I think the last time was April 13th, where we had a big drop. So like a 2 billion open interest drop, and it plays in a range. So how does it play out in the lower time frame, and when does it happen without a liquidation or like a black swan event like FTX or COVID? They do happen if you like zoom out. The data here is probably a bit skewed because it used to have FTX and now FTX isn't there anymore. So I don't know if this data has FTX excluded, and that's why it looks a bit weird. But stuff like this in August, I don't think this was FTX. But here again, you see this giga drop in OI, and you could have bought on the daily close, and this range where you're below your buy price, even on low leverage, this would be safe, right? So this is not even 10%. So if you don't go above 5x, you're pretty safe. Depends on your risk, your risk management, I guess. So yeah, it happens more frequently than you think. You just need to have it ready, have it open, have it something on the side that you can watch. I wouldn't use this as like a super low time frame one. This is a daily candle. If you zoom in more, they happen more frequently. Like this is a capitulation. This is capitulation. This is capitulation. Could argue this is capitulation. Like. Wouldn't zoom in on a super low time frame on some of these, but they're there. And yeah, for me, I want to see. Actually, this is price. Sorry, need to check the AOI on the open interest on the circles I put. You see here, this is slow and steady. you want a big nuke. You want an actual candle down on the 4 hour, stuff like this. Giga capitulation. And does it mean that this here was the bottom? Oh, absolutely not. It started to drift down, so that's why you want a really big one. But yeah, it's basically my answer, I think.
Thank you for the question, by the way, Hiroshima. Thanks for answering, 0xZer0cool. So guys, if you have questions, just shoot on Twitter, on YouTube. We can answer them live, and it helps the interactivity between the chat and us on the stream. So thank you very much. But I know why I think he said Jack. For some reason, I switched our
names.
Yeah, on the stream. But let me fix it real
That's
quick.
okay.
So I switched our camera positions.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now you're perfect.
Hey.
All right. I think let's move ahead to our setups and our TA on Bitcoin. So I can start real quick.
Yep.
Let me show my screen. Up. So what I saw this week was, and this one was very good, so I wanted to show it. Well, not very good, but so from Bob Lucas. And so basically what he did with this price was, this is the price from last summer. So basically how the price moved last summer, he put it on the chart and he thinks he's going to move the same this summer. And why do I think this is very interesting is because this aligns perfectly well with our interest rates and our global macro liquidity. So basically what it's doing is it will stay in the range until September, forming a bottom on the range and then goes up again. And these are exactly my thoughts, how I think Bitcoin price will move. And it's funny that it moved exactly the same as well last year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, normally it doesn't necessarily indicate if it's traded like this last year, it will trade again right now. But it's fun to see and it might happen. So moving on to my charts. So what I'm thinking is for the buys, the setups for next week ahead, because like 0xZer0cool said, it can be a bearish week. So if you're not already fully allocated, where can you buy? This is the most important thing you guys want to know, I think. So my buy signals, I'm going to show it real quick here on the Kijun at 64,300. Perfect buy. And then next buy is here, top of the cloud. Top of the Ishimoku clouds, and this is also the R2 pivot point, the yearly R2 pivot point, which acts as a strong support as well. And then under it you have the bottom of the range, and this one is a large macro support. This line, I'm not going to show it the monthly, from the monthly from previous all-time high. Not previous all-time high, but let me show it so you can see it. This candle, so what this shows is there is a lot of support under current price, and so I don't think it will go much lower towards the 40k levels. I think we will just consolidate still in this range for the whole remainder of the summer. So my buys, Kijun, R2 pivot points, here one, and the bottom of the clouds. And then on the weekly, it's basically the same. So what I like to use is the bull market support bands. It works every time in the bull market, every previous Bitcoin cycle. So it's the 20-week SMA and the 21-week EMA. So which is currently at 36k as well on the R2 pivot points. So you can see there are a lot of indicators, a lot of moving averages at the same price level, and which means is if a lot of moving average are at the same price, this is a really good buy level. So this is what I'm doing. I want to buy a lot of Bitcoin right here. And we'll see if it gets there. If it doesn't, it's fine. I'm still already allocated. But that's Bitcoin. We're going to talk alts later. I'm more bearish on alts. I only want to buy Bitcoin currently. Yeah, so these are my targets. Oh yeah, and this one I forgot. Not super important, but short term, what you can do is look at the short term holder realized price. This is basically an average of coins that people held for the last 155 days. So you can use it because short term holders are more how do you say it, more sentimental, more they use their emotions more, and they will sell and buy more. So this can indicate as a good support level. You can see it here. Mostly it indicates as a good support level. So at the moment it's at 63,900, which aligns perfectly with my buys here as well. So a lot of indicators here. So if you can, I can draw a small box for you guys. Good buy zone here. Okay.
Yep.
Up to you, Zero
Still
Cool.
too bullish. Still too bullish for me. I'm pretty bearish.
Still too bullish. I'm drawing for the first time in a month under the current price.
Which is still too bullish for me. Let's grab a chart here. Where's Trading View? Do I have Trading View open? Let's remove this bad boy. There we go. I think there's not much to say that we haven't set. It's a range. We've come down from the top to the middle, and I think we'll probably visit lower. You want to buy here, I guess, in the hopes that it will bounce, reclaim the mid, and go higher. No, let's say that you do buy here, and the bottom of your cloud is 58,000. This is where you start to panic, right? And then if we dip lower, this is where you start to sell, which will force liquidations into where I want to start buying in is 53,000.
Okay.
But yeah, it's still a range. It's gonna be a boring summer, I think. But this also starts to look like an M top for the first time that I kind of see it.
Yeah, there were a lot of stocks also that had an M top. So
yeah, I would be cautious with entering. I see there was a lot of people are bored. The price is going sideways for over 100 days now. You can see it on Twitter that there's more useless drama. People are fighting. Celebrities are picking bones with crypto Twitter people. A lot of boring stuff. It's not new. It always happens. But still, yeah, people were super bullish over here, charting 100,000. That's one of the big reasons why I actually I've been swing short from here, but same price, so I got lucky, I guess. Didn't really get stopped out above. Yeah, people were charting 100,000 again, and then started to go down, and here they were charting 40,000. I think the main Twitter villain for this season was charting 44,000. I don't think we'll get 44,000. If we do get 44,000, I'll be emptying my bank account for the second time this year and doing shorts, like short buys for I don't know, half a year investments, until next cycle. But yeah, range, we can throw on some indicators and do some more weekly levels. I really enjoy this indicator, which shows you weekly, Mondays. It's not that bullish. We're below the monthly, we're below the weekly, we're below the Monday range, we're below the quarterly. Yeah, I don't see reason to be bullish. When we start trading up here above the quarterly, I'm gonna cut all my shorts. I mainly have altcoin shorts who have been printing more than Bitcoin. But if we start going above quarterly, above 71.2, above 71.3, you can flip bullish and aim higher. For now, I think we're gonna time capitulate. So there's two times of capitulation. You have your price doing this, which is price-based capitulation, or you have your price doing this, which is time-based capitulation. The longer this goes on, the more people will make mistakes, the more boring it will get, the more time, the more people will lose interest, the more they will just sell because they're saying, oh, I've bought this 3 months ago, the price is exactly the same, fuck this investment, I'm selling. And those are the things you need to propel forward, unfortunately. And yes, this is super boring to trade. If you're like a range trader, you could have made good money here, but this is absolutely too boring to trade, right? Everybody wants this because everybody wants this type of price action. Why? Because you cannot lose money here. It doesn't matter where you buy, you'll make money over a short period of time. This is what people want. This is what the reality is. It's flat. But for setups, a sweep of those lows here into where Jack is bidding is a good setup, I think. Range low, it's around 60 to 58, I think. A sort of very convoluted 3-tap system where you have your first tap, your deviation, and then it tests it and it flips it. That's more probable, I think, short term, but I'm still giga bearish and give me full capitulation of people who buy here. They'll start to sell here, I guess, which capitulates the price into the 50s. And I think my target's like 53 or something. That's where I'm gonna cut my shorts. I'll see how the market reacts to allocate in spots and maybe even open longs. And yes, very bearish. I'll continue to be bearish until there's signs for me. The celebrities are gone. That will be a sign, I guess. This I can show you actually my 2 entries on Bitcoin. I have them. They're two separate trades. I just put them on the same charts. I had the pump up here that I started 2 shorts. I think my first my first entry was over here, I think, and then I added over here, which my average was then here. This was a pretty good entry. We got rejected on the quarterly open. A lot of people, including myself, were thinking, oh, this is gonna swipe these highs and then come back and go. It didn't give that. I think a lot of traders on crypto Twitter were ready for price action here to see what it does. And then over here we had, I don't know, this was also a news candle, I think. This was CPI and FMOC, right? I think. Yeah, this was the CPI candle, and this was the FMOC candle. I shorted that as well. A little early. I feel like I'm always too early on like an hourly chart. So I low leverage, high stop, low leverage with a high stop loss price, and then if it starts to develop to stuff I don't like, I remember when the price was here, I did put my stop here. So it's like, if it continues, it shouldn't be too here long, and then it's rejected on the FMOC news and been going down ever since. And yeah, this is just rolling over, right? What you would want to see for me to start to close these, my entries or my stop losses are now break even. You would want to see a straight break in structure, start to retest it, and then come up here, break this. The break of this previous high where it broke this high, this is where I would start to close these shorts. But for that, I'm no joke. I'm targeting 54. 44 it seems very unlikely. It's a target that everybody's been talking about now for a week. Never say never. There's always a probability it goes to 44. Having sting bits ready around 48 to 44 is probably not a bad idea, just in case we do get there. But I don't think it will be one downward candle, right?
No, the thing is, looking at the charts, it can seem probable that we will go lower to the 40s and the 44s. But Bitcoin is still a blockchain network, and you have to look at what the miners are doing. And like I showed, at the moment, it costs around 80K to mine a Bitcoin. So if the miners think the fair value of Bitcoin is at 80K, they're using electricity to mine a Bitcoin for around 80K, then the price, no way the price will drop that low. It's just impossible. There will be no miner selling, there will be no sell pressure, and to me, it's just impossible that this will happen.
What I do see happen, and it wouldn't surprise me, is that we get a weakened scam pump to clear these highs. You go back to a naked chart. Yeah, there we go. Like we had a very nice nuke through the lower, and it's starting to recover. What wouldn't surprise me is that we do this. Like clear out these highs around 70K. Maybe even these two, because these are all like everybody and their mom has been shorting over here, has their stops over here. So maybe even like this. Like run not only these stops, but also these stops. Because again, I've said this multiple times before, you want to buy when people are getting stopped out, liquidated, because it's either risk management or forced selling. Where would you want to enter if you see reversals in these areas, right? You shouldn't put your stop here, but it's the most logical thing to do, because if price comes over here, it means there's a break of structure and we're going to go higher. That's the main sentiment. And when I open a trade, like not brainlessly, but not well researched, not looking at where the other previous stops could be, you do open it like this, right? Let's say you stopped here. Where is your invalidation? Above this high. It's the logical thing a trader would do. But this is the worst thing you can do, because if there's a lot of stops here, the price will just run the stops and then revert. So what you're better off doing is either scaling in over here with 10, 20, 50% of what you want to do, and then have your have another shorts or the rest for your position in a little spread box over here above the stops. And depending on your risk management and if it's a swing position or a scalp position, you make this as wide or as tight as you want. Just do a flat line as well, just like one buy or sell order. But yeah, it's weekends. Volume has been horrible in the weekends. Last weekend, I think we saw this here. Then we scammed pump into Monday, and then we just giga dumped for the rest of the week. We did test the range, which I shorted. And it went back down again. So it wouldn't surprise me that we do like sweep, maybe higher sweep, revert, and then go to the target to fuck everybody who's been shorting this.
To be honest, the previous week price action is just all macro correlated, and yeah, we hate to say it, but at the moment, Bitcoin is just trading only on macro news. Only that's not nice. That's not fun. So the first drop was the CPI drop. No, the FOMC drop. Where it always drops 48 hours before the FOMC. Then we saw the inflation was lower than expected. We went up. Then the FOMC Powell talked, we went back down again. So it's a bit boring that we're trading on macro news only, but it's the kind of reality we live in right now, so we have to accept it.
And for me, this is like a clear break of structure, right? You've got lower low, lower low, high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. You would need to see a break of structure before this could continue to go up, and it's lower, 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 like double top. It's lower, lower. So I don't know. We're trending down. We're bearish. For me, I'm bearish. Period. And this is Bitcoin. Altcoins have been absolutely destroyed on this Bitcoin move, and this is only what 5%. It is here. Okay, 10%. This has been 10%. It's been so long that I don't even know what percentages are in this range anymore. 10%. I don't think you can find an altcoin that has outperformed Bitcoin. Maybe Ton, because that's like hype right now. But on average, your altcoins are down 20, 30, 40, 50%. So what am I looking to buy? Capitulation on this to here, or to even to like here or here. Yeah, this is another 15%. What do you think your altcoin is going to do when Bitcoin does another 15%? It's going to yeet down another 20, 30, 50%. Like actual big liquidations, and that's what you want to buy. You want altcoins in a narrative like AI or WA. That's where I'm sting bidding. Like you can see them down here on the C-Pool token. I have sting bits ready, even on Kraken and Euros. I think 32 is my sting bit level. Where is this? That's another 35% from current price. Will we get it? Who knows? The bits are there. We'll see.
All right.
But for Bitcoin, yeah, wait for the structure break. And if we sweep these highs and these highs, you could short again, I think. if I get stopped out on these 2 trades and I just see this, slam short again. Yep, that's Bitcoin for me. Boring sideways action till September, I'm afraid.
What do you want to do? Because we're already more than an hour in. Ethereum and altcoins real quick, or?
Ethereum. Ethereum, I shorted the top. Oh, I'm so happy. I've been short since like 3,900. I'm targeting these lows. It's a giga drop. Same sentiments. But here we actually have a break of structure, and this candle here, to no surprise, this was again on rumor of the ETF starting to trade next week or in 2 weeks. So maybe we need to wait until the actual news drops to like add to the short or get stopped out. We'll see.
Yeah, when was it? They think the S1 application for the Ethereum ETFs?
2nd of July.
Yeah.
That was this candle here. That was the tweet.
And
just
things,
like that.
I don't even know if it's super bullish that it will be that it will start to trade, because there will be a lot of GBTC outflows.
It's not called GBTC. It's called ETC. I think it's called for grayscale.
Sorry. Yeah.
But basically,
the grayscale. Right? Yeah. The grayscale outflows.
We've been showing you ETF data. The second it went live every week. Ethereum will have the same, and Grayscale, which is the holder of GBTC, which has been the biggest seller at the start, the Bitcoin ETFs, they hold even more or an equal amount of Ethereum, which they will have to dump, I guess, and that will cause sell pressure.
Yeah, and I don't think there will be the same amount of inflows into the Ethereum ETF than in the Bitcoin ETF. So. Altcoins can really take a beat when it starts to trade, because when Ethereum goes down, altcoins just follow his path.
What I do think for Ethereum, there is a trade here. I'm going to clean the chart. I do think if we get this monthly, we test this monthly open and we reject, you can short this. Because this is a break of structure. Your range, we broke it, we'll test it again, and if it rejects, we'll roll over, and I think we'll clear at least this low. And I'm targeting these lows, honestly. 275 is my target. And maybe something important when I say 275 is where I'm closing my shorts. This is not where I'm gonna slam long or go swing long. I want to see how the price reacts there. Because let's say this is my target. If the price does this is not what you want to buy. What I want to see or buy is this, a nuke. Then I could consider buying here, not this price action where you slowly grind into the price. Because buying here on this price action is pure gamble. It could just continue to go higher. You would want to see a change in structure to at least think to buy here. Yeah, you want the full nuke into this price level. Therefore, and this is super bearish, we'll never see it. I'm pretty sure we'll never see it. But when we're here and we're doing this price structure, I'm bidding 2,000, which is another 40%, which would mean now Bitcoin is down to like 40 or below 40. We'll never see it, but if we have this price action into my short target, I'll bid way lower. Because people will start to buy here, and I think they're wrong to buy here. Sure, it can develop and go up, but it's a gamble at this point. So yeah, I'm drawing 2,000 on the chart of Bitcoin. It's like another, this is another 40% from here. I would need a COVID or an FTX candle to get that.
You know, Zero0cool, the price can go up as well, you know?
Whoa, yeah. And we've gone over my indicators, my little tweet with my 4 indicators that you can apply that exact same thing to. Actually, for the fun of it, we should look at the open interest of Ethereum really quickly. Because Ethereum had a gigantic spike in open interest on that. Okay, this is massive. This is pure speculation on the ETF, right? Because I think the ETF announcement was here.
23, yeah.
So here it is. There's a 40% in open interest. If we do like very loose hands.
J. Armo
So
says bear market vibes.
All right. So this was your open interest rise on the ETF stuff. We've touched halfway point, but this wasn't halfway of my like this here. So very roughly 50%. This is roughly, I don't know, 30%. And this is 70%. So if this also needs to unwind, put another color. Yeah. So if this open interest here needs to unwind, because if you look at this, the open interest has been skyrocketing again. On the price has been following, but if this needs to unwind as well, price is going below here. And you'll have people have stops here, have stops here, have stops here, have stops here. And that's why I'm 2.75, because I think it will cascade down. And that comes back to my, you don't want the price to do this. You want it to do this. And that's why I'm bidding there. And if it does this, that's why I'm being way lower, because we want this candle. It's all about probability, and trading is sitting on your hands, mostly waiting for your setup to develop, be prepared, draw endless amount of squiggles and lines that mean absolutely nothing on your charts until they're like you one day draw a line here and the price touches it perfectly and you're like, I was right. And then you forget about it. But yeah, bearish vibes for me. And honestly, for ETH, it's weekend, low volume. We do weekend pump. I never like weekend pumps. They're always sus. You could wait for this to roll over. And I can short this come Monday, maybe? Something like this.
Yeah, the pump is just ETF news.
Right. ETF rumor. This was also ETF rumor.
Yeah, sorry.
This was also rumor. This was people being late. I'm not gonna lie. I tweeted this. I had my short here. Swing short ×2. Had a 30% stop, I think. I was targeting this. Like I always use on swing, especially on swing. I don't put I put a hard stop, which is way too high. This is like more than half the account. Obviously not what you should do, but it's not like I'll play with the stop here, see how the price develops. But yeah, this is a horrible fucking trade. Sorry for my French, right? This is absolutely horrible. And I did close it here. I'm very happy I closed it below 3,400 because it's already back at 35.6. Now, point that I'm trying to make is if you like swing trades, which is where your money, this is a proper amount of money. Like most of my trading accounts with ETH, or I use for ETH. Very wide stop. I shorted the rumor. Like this candle was the rumor. I shorted this. It's not short rumor. It's short the news, and the news was here, I think, like here, or was it here? I don't remember. But yeah, it marked top, which is sell the news, not sell the rumor. And my point I was trying to make, here we had our rumor candle. This is a rumor candle on a Friday. So if they say on Monday, oh, it's gonna open, you'll probably see some price action and start to fade, and then it's when you can start set up to short.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I think this is one where I follow you in your bearish mindset that the moment the ETF starts to trade, then we will trade lower on Ethereum.
Mm-hmm. And again, we've been talking about timeframes, August, September. That's a long time away, right? So the chances that price just does this into August and September are very real. Or well, it's a bit too, I think it'll be more fuckery. Like, take on some stops, take on some lows, but down sideways, I think, into September, which is super boring to trade. Luckily, I'm going to vacation for a month. I'm gonna, not sure how I'm gonna do it. Am I gonna bring all access and trade all vacation, or am I gonna bring zero access and force myself away from the charts and just use hard stops?
Are you gonna bring your computer and everything? Do you think you
No.
continue
I'll
with
bring.
your
I'll
stream?
bring a. Oh, well, we'll do a live stream. We'll do a live edition, I guess. But I'll bring something to trade with.
Yeah.
Should be fun. But yeah, bearish on Bitcoin, even more bearish on alts. Quickly go over ETH, BTC, very quickly. Guys, you wouldn't believe it, but we're still inside of the giga range we've been into for the last 3 years. Good bounce though on the through some indicators. We had this giga bounce on the ETF news and rumors. It started to retrace, and now another rumor, another bounce. Yeah, it's quite clear if we break this level here, this double top, this is flying. This is free 10%. And if it starts to fade here, 38 target that we had a couple of weeks ago still realistic, I think. Let's eat BTC. It's showing signs of strength-ish, I guess. But not quite. Not there yet. And yeah, that's it. You want to do Solana? Do we dare to open Solana? Because it's so bad.
I just don't have that much time anymore, so we gotta go quick.
Oh yeah, I'll quickly open it. It looks super bad. I've been shorts. Perfect. I had I think one of my best entries in months. I shorted the bounce from this. So this was a structure, we broke it, I shorted the retest of it, and then it was down only since then. Yeah, this looks pure pain, honestly.
I think you will get some good buys in over the next couple of weeks for Solana for this cycle.
Yeah, my original target were D-lows at 35, but I think it will cascade into 20s, and I will buy 120 until 100 spots. I'm not longing this.
Yeah, I see it here on my charts. Your target from April was between 100 and 110. I think it was the yearly open. I have it here on my chart. I think it's you said it a couple of streams ago. Yeah. Yeah,
yearly open. That would be nice for like an X2 swing position. I think just like this. Wide stop 30%. Let's do 25%. That's half your accounts. 25%, and then at least the high, right? It's 100% rate. It's double your money.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get this? Very unlikely. I am buying my spot or replenishing my spot back because I did tweet that I cut 20% of all my spot positions. I don't know where I got it over here. I think some were okay, some went up more and then down. I'll replenish and buy more here, and then I'll think about swing positions if markets is favorable. But yeah, Solana looks even worse than Ethereum, probably because all the fucking grifters are on Solana. Sorry for my language. Good little bounce, but yeah, this is staircase to hell, and it's been pretty. We haven't seen a turbo nuke yet. This was a turbo nuke, I guess. But yeah, we swept these lows, retested it. It was the exact same setup as Bitcoin, by the way. FMOC news, or a CPI print into FMOC and then just drip lower. Absolutely nothing what you want to see as a bull, because it just keeps breaking market structure. You probably already want to see a full, like you need to be trading above this before thinking about fishing for longs. So yeah, stops, break even, let this run, and then all the money we make here will, like 50% of the profits I'll throw into the coin I shorted, I think. Because long-term Solana has been like, we're putting shorts, but if you look at this chart, this is bullish, right? I think I've drawn this pattern 100 times on the thing. If this is your price charts and this is your initial launch, you want to form a bottom and test it again. Your price launch, you want to form a bottom and test it again. Whereas next year it's into the sky, 400, 600,000. Very bullish on Solana long term. Right now it looks like it's gonna dive off this uptrending cliff that it has been having for a year. So yeah, we'll see. Also a lot of confluence here around the 90 zone, I think. Like just below the yearly open. Yeah. Maybe build a swing long below the yearly open and target for the quarterly open. It's actually not a bad trade, I think. But yeah, Solana looks even worse than Ethereum, and that's, I think, the sentiment for all alts, except maybe Ton Network, which is Telegram. There's some people super hyped and super into Telegram ecosystem. I haven't looked in it at all. Probably a big mistake. You should be on top of it, but other than that,
I think it's a very good coin. I saw the interview with Tucker Carlson and the CEO of Telegram. He's an incredible, intelligent guy. Telegram is very good. What I wanted to say about this is Ton is very good coin. I think it's an equity play on Telegram, but the valuation is just way too high. I saw the fully diluted valuation was already 44 billion, which is half of Solana. It's too high in my opinion.
It's a coin for. I'm not gonna say it's a coin with no value. I don't even know what the coin does. Is it just like an ecosystem play? Is it used for gas fees? I have absolutely no idea. I'll need to look into it. Staring at this is actually a pretty good, pretty nice level. And if you're bullish, this wouldn't even be a bad buy, right? It's resistance, supports, resistance flipped into supports. Like this held. This is extremely bullish. It's being tested again. I think above 163 you can target 210.
Yeah, I think I'm going to buy more at 135. It's also the top of the key June, so. And I think it.
Yeah, that's my original target, but I don't know. I've been bearish here. I was feeling very lonely bearish here, and then more and more people started to join over the week, like traders I've been following for years. I also started to bear post. I was like, whew, I'm not alone. My idea is not wrong. I just early as usual. But yeah, I want capitulation, and I want to. You make my life changing money on people capitulating and getting liquidated, and the price being out of whack. This nukes from here to 100. The bounce alone will be 20%. You can sell the bounce and buy back lower, and then you make even more money.
J. Armo says the valuation of Ton comes from the 900 million Telegram users. Yeah, but our thing is, what is the coin used for? Because I haven't looked in that much myself. I think it's just how can I say it? Governance token, but I don't even know what they are governancing. So I have no idea what the coin is used for. Maybe I think it's a play. Like for example, Uniswap was like this for a lot of years.
If I go to
just in the hope that they will start paying out their token holders a share of the revenue. And I think Ton is maybe the same thing, that people hope that in a couple of years there will be a use case for the token and that they will maybe get a share of the revenue. But I don't know, so don't take my word from it. Maybe it has a completely other use case.
That's something we need to research, honestly. It's definitely something to throw on the research list. Maybe we can do a future episode just on Telegram and Ton. And 900 million users, that's cool. I know who uses Telegram, crypto traders. I don't have family members or friends on Telegram. They use Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp.
No, that's true. No. Honestly, I have a lot of people that I know that use Telegram. Not only crypto guys. As you see, 900 people is just 1/10 of the world population. So it's a very good app. It's used a lot, and I think I really believe in it.
Not in my circles. Then we're underallocated. Jack, why didn't you do the research beforehand?
Because it's super overvalued, and I don't think the coin has any use yet.
That's fair. So. All right, let's call it a day. It's been an hour and a half for given over an hour. Not a bad stream. We're bear. Sorry, guys, and I'll start bull posting when I believe we've bottomed, and I will start charting up only when I think we're going up.
Let's do the predictions then.
Oh yes, please.
So my screen. Yeah. So. I said 67K. You said 64K, but we said everything under my line is a win for you because we were trading a bit higher last week. Daily, you can see it better. So, 0xZer0cool. Oh, 2, you win this week. Maybe we can make a rule like this. If you win last week, you have to choose first.
Yeah, that's fair. Keep it where it is.
Keep it where it is? Okay.
Yep. And that's going to be already in the cloud. So the week after, we're going for the bottom of the cloud.
Honestly, I became a bit bearish as well this week because just looking at all my indicators, interest rates, no good news. It's just because Powell said only 1 rate cut this year. Macro correlation is still bullish. M2 money supply neutral. Global liquidity neutral. The DXY is still strong.
Super bearish. Super bullish. Yeah, that's why it's bearish signal for crypto. We haven't even looked at it.
Stablecoin liquidity turning neutral, but still bearish. ETFs bearish. Where is it here? Lower inflows and still with the cash and carry trades. So I think I'm going to point lower as well this week, but I'm not going to go into the clouds. I think we're going to bounce off the clouds and I think we'll be here, which is around the same price action as we are. So, I said bearish, but I think we already did the drop of the CPI news.
We already did it 10% from the top, right?
So I'm going to stay here.
Okay, that's fair. Oh, our lines are getting closer and closer.
I'm following you for one time, but it's because of my macro things are turning bearish. But long term, I'm still super bullish. So this doesn't mean
let's say if it's in between, it's a win for you. And if it's on or below, it's a win for me.
Yeah,
or is that range too tight? It's only like $1,000 difference, right? Or $2,000 difference.
No, I think it's fine. Yeah, let's do it that way.
Okay.
Guys, everyone, thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure. As always, thank you, Zero0cool. It was super informative today.
No problem.
If you guys liked the live stream, please leave a comment. Please leave a like. Well, if you did not like it, leave a dislike. Just be honest. Also, I wanted to ask, so in the beginning of the stream, we made a little intro video. Well, I didn't make it. I paid someone on Fiverr to do it. So let me know if you like it. Let me know if you don't like it so we can improve it. As always, we just want to improve the stream. We want to make it better. We want to grow the stream so we can just keep on live streaming for you guys for the coming months, even years ahead, which would be cool. So yeah, that was it. Everyone have a good week and see you all next week. Bye.